What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, ladies? Happy Monday. I know y'all love the set. Let's talk about this. DoorDash, that idiot that filmed that man naked on the couch, she's getting indicted. The airplane crash that happened over the weekend was absolutely insane. That dude's going to be so rich, his head's going to spin. Stephen A. Smith went on Cam Newton's show and went ham. I love it. Charlemagne the Fraud gets on and talks about how Donald Trump, in part, almost solicited his own assassination, which is insane. And the craziest interview that I've ever seen in my life from a nut job, and that is Tucker Carlson's interview with the New York Times. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I want to first of all say, give a big shout out to our members. Thank you so much for being members. Let's play the deputy chief members or show them. Kristen, Comeback Carbon, Ron, Tina, Sony. We got James and Kevin, who were the first. And I appreciate y'all for being deputy chiefs. I really appreciate you. Much love to you. And much love to everybody who's joined the membership program. I told you we're going to try to make the best one on YouTube. So shout out to the rookies. We've been seeing a crazy increase in rookies joining. Rookies, you have access to the post-show clarity on Fridays, and everyone else has access to post-show clarity during the rest of the week. But I just want to say thank you guys for being, my ride or dies. All right, let's get to this first interview. Tucker Carlson had the most insane interview that I've ever seen. I want to let it go. I don't want to talk about it. But, at some point, we can't just let this go. Somebody who's bashing the president of the United States, a person who's just bastardizing the Holy Bible, just making up stuff and never is held accountable. If y'all would let me get away with this, I wouldn't say nothing. But this guy cannot get away with being this ignorant and gaslighting and lying. He's not going to be able to get away with it. And it's detrimental to our country. Let's play it. The craziest interview I've ever seen. Roll it.
Instead, there were a lot of cowardly people, as there always are, and Trump engenders cowardice in the people around him through intimidation. And there is a kind of quality that he has that's spellbinding, and I think it probably literally is a spell. And the effect is to weaken people around him and make them more compliant and more confused. And I've experienced this myself. You spend a day with Trump and sort of you're in this kind of dreamland. It's like smoking hash or something. It's interesting, very interesting. And there may be a supernatural component to it. I'm not a theologian, but it's real, and anyone who's been around him can tell you.
It's supernatural, but somehow Bibi Netanyahu is exempt from the supernatural. And Dana White. So Dana White is hypnotized by Donald Trump. Yeah, ask Dana White, is he somehow allured into this hypnotizing spell of the Donald Trump? Just stupid. And here are 3 more clips that's going to blow your mind. Roll it.
You've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, the day after Easter, you noted he did not put his hand on the Bible during his swearing-in ceremony as president. You said, and I'm quoting, maybe he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. And then on a recent show, you went further saying, here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist? Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist? Well, who knows? I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips because I'm not sure I fully understand what the Antichrist is. If there's just one, I actually tried to understand it. I may have said some are asking that. I'm not weighing in on that because I don't understand it.
Y'all know y'all be eating me up if I did that. He don't know what the Antichrist is. Before you accuse the president of the United States of America, somebody whom we all have voted for, that, to be honest, if we didn't have Donald Trump in office, we'll lose our country a long time ago, and you said that he's the Antichrist, and somehow you either don't remember or you're lying, before you make a suggestion like that, you think you would know what the Antichrist is, right? So you don't know what the Antichrist is, and you claim you never said it. Which one is it, bruh? Here go. I think I got 2 other clips, and then we're gonna move on. Here's about Nick Fuentes. Roll it.
Who do you think?
No,
is
hold
more
on. I want 104. If we can jump to 104 real quick, then we're gonna go to
JD
Nick
has
Fuentes.
been
'Cause this one is just as crazy as the rest of them. Roll it.
subject to, this is well known, but I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery from people on the neoconservative side.
Who are these people?
Around Marco Rubio. And they have been totally against J.D. Vance from the very beginning.
Who do you mean specifically?
I don't know is the real answer. I don't know.
You're accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering.
Well, I know there's been a lot of treachery for sure, and I know they were so mad about JD getting that job. I mean,
who's they? Within the White House?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never worked there, so like if you don't work there, you can say you can say what you think you know, but it's hard to really know.
This is me looking skeptical.
Yeah, well, no, but it's me being honest. Like I don't really know.
Then why are you out here saying it then? I don't really know who I'm talking about. They don't say it. 2 more clips. And this is one more clip, and this is one about Nick Fuentes, which is just as insane as the rest of them. And I encourage y'all, don't just listen to me, bro. Go watch it for yourself. We'll link it. The New York Times interview, we'll link it for you to watch. It's 1 hour and 50 minutes. I watched half. My wife watched the full, and she said it's even crazier than this. Half of it that I watched, I earmarked like or put a marker at like 20 or 30 places in the first hour of just contradictions and ridiculousness. But I can't show it all here because it'll take too long. So here's the last clip that I'm going to show. Y'all go watch it for yourself and see how crazy this is. One of the reasons I reiterate this, that I'm so mad about this, is because if I ever did this, y'all would not forgive me and unfollow me. So why don't he get the same treatment as I'd get if I was on here looking this stupid on an interview? Here's the last clip.
Who do you think is more morally repulsive, Ted Cruz or
Who
Nick
do you
Fuentes?
think is more morally repulsive?
Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is a sitting U.S. senator who has called for the killing of people who did nothing wrong, whole populations who advocated for this war. Nick Fuentes is like a kid. He's like 26 or 70. He has no power except his words. Here you have a public official who we pay, who has actual power, who's voting for things, who's making policy decisions. And those decisions would include, in fact, they are focused on the murder of people who did nothing wrong. And yet no one...
The murder of people who did nothing wrong. You would ask yourself a question, what could he be talking about? Are you talking about after October the 7th? When Israel went into Gaza to get their people who were kidnapped and murdered. Many of them didn't come back because they were murdered. Women and children. The videotapes of them beheading people and all that. You're saying they're going to intentionally kill innocent people? Let me just say this. You put Ted Cruz and Nick Fuentes on the same level because you interviewed both of them. You gave them the same amount of gravity by having both of them on your show. So how are you acting like one is more powerful than the other, but you felt like that they both must have been at least equal enough to interview him? How does this guy get away with this? You know, Nick Fuentes is more dangerous than Ted Cruz, in my personal opinion. Ted Cruz has never said the Holocaust was fake. Ted Cruz has never said he loved Hitler and he was a cool guy. Ted Cruz has never said that he loved Joseph Stalin. This dude is speaking to a generation of young people, making it okay to be racist, making it okay to celebrate genocide. But Ted Cruz, one senator who cannot make all the decisions in the Senate because you have to vote, nothing that he can do unilaterally can make a difference without everybody else on the Senate. And you're saying he's more dangerous. Tell me who get more views on social media and who's more popular. Okay. Nick Fuentes probably gets hundreds of millions of views a week. You telling me young people are not paying attention to Nick Fuentes? Okay. That's why you interviewed him. That's right. All right. All right, let's get to the next story. Charlemagne the Fraud gets on here and say something crazy. I want to tell you guys about Verdict before we get there. If you're looking for a bourbon that's good, tastes good, whatever. If it's your speed, go ahead and go. VerdictBourbon.com. If it's not your speed, just go on. The scan code is right here. I'm trying to get my finger right. There you go, right there. Scan code is right there. Go look at the reviews and you tell me if it's the best bourbon you've ever gotten. All right, let's get to Charlemagne the Fraud. This is him. They want to do it, but they know they'll get so much backlash. This is him kind of alluding to the fact that Donald Trump was responsible for people coming after him, as if it's way more than the social media stupidity. And a caller called in, and I want this dude on my show. I'll show it to you in a minute. Roll the clip.
Do we ever think, Chris, do we think about Doge and the hundreds of thousands of jobs that Doge got rid of last year? All of these federal workers still haven't found work. People have lost houses. People have had loved ones that have died because they don't have health care. Like, even when you think about, am I a person that believes there needs to be border security? 100%.
Of course.
But think about the brutality
of
how some of these border policies have gone down.
Of course. But the question is, are you saying that it's justified because of it?
No. No.
So it's like, so that's how it's going to be consumed. Like, I don't think you're justifying it. But if I was somebody who doesn't know you, I would go, oh, he's saying that he deserved this and he made people get this radicalized through his thing.
I think we have to deal with the reality that some of these policies have hurt people so much that some folks are willing to risk it all.
Well, now you're justifying it.
I'm not justifying it. It's just a reality.
But now you're justifying it.
It's just a reality that you have to deal with. You feel like I'm justifying it, Miles?
No, I think you can extrapolate out that, like, was Osama justified? Not justified. Was like Timothy McVeigh, all these other like political.
You're making the argument that people make about Bin Laden, which is, well, if America wasn't doing this in the Middle East, then Bin Laden wouldn't have done it.
I don't know.
If Ruby Ridge and Waco didn't happen.
I'm just saying that is the argument that they would make.
I just think that we would be remiss to not take a step back and not just have conversations about violent rhetoric. Let's talk about violent policies that people have been watching over the last year and a half, and how a lot of people have been hurt by those policies.
Of course.
And some of those people are willing to risk it all because, to your point earlier, they don't have nothing else to lose.
All right, time out.
At least
not one person that tried to assassinate President Trump is involved in any of these policy decision-making or any of these policy decisions. The guy that just tried to do it was a school teacher. What policy hurts the school teachers that Donald Trump is allegedly implementing? Nothing. The other guy was a nut job. I don't even think he had a job. He tried to kill Trump at Butler. Other one tried to shoot him through a fence. None of them, to my understanding, is affected by any of these policy positions. People are just crazy, and they hate him because every single day on the news they're making all these things seem to be, apparent that he's Hitler. He's a fascist. He's taking away women's rights. He's rolling back civil rights. When you say that stuff every single day, even though there's no gravity to it, people begin to believe it. And then they begin to get desperate when it's all fake. It's not some policy decision that Donald Trump did. Doge, people got fired because they were wasteful. They uncovered billions of dollars of fraud that we eliminated. How is that negative to the average American person? Eliminating fraud? Not allowing men to be in women's bathrooms? The Roe v. Wade, overturning of Roe v. Wade, which was never constitutionally protected in the first place? What are we talking about? Anyway, this caller, though, went ham. Like I want him on my show. This caller made more sense than I can make. Listen to what he said to Charlemagne. Roll it.
How has his policies, what pain has his policies caused you?
What pain has these policies caused me?
Yep.
None, bro, because I'm old enough to remember Bush's last administration and how the gas prices and food prices, COVID, Joe Biden's policies. I think the only thing that changed is the way y'all radicalized the media against Donald Trump. That's why people trying to kill him, because the media is pumping in their head that this man is this, that, and the third, and it's like, bro, where y'all been at? Y'all been living under a rock? Like, this been going on.
It definitely has been going on, but we can't sit here and act like he hasn't implemented policies that have made things extremely worse, bro. Like, we have no business.
Like what?
We have no business being in a war in Iran.
We ain't had no business being in a war in Iraq.
That is a fact too. But we're acting like people weren't radicalized to do things to Bush too. Like, assassination attempts against presidents isn't anything new.
Well, they was trying to kill Bush. I remember somebody throwing a shoe at him. I don't remember nobody shooting his ear off.
Yes, bro. I mean, no. I mean, he didn't get shot or anything like that. But yes, these presidents been having assassination attempts. Barack Obama had 13.
I remember somebody throwing a shoe. I don't remember nobody trying to shoot his ear off.
Listen, the times are different.
Like, I don't think so, man. I think I'm old enough to remember that America always been this way. The only thing that changes is the media, the propaganda.
But you don't even think that a lot of that changed because of Trump and the way that he speaks? Like,
yes.
People feel a lot more free now. You don't feel that?
I hung up on him, my bad.
Hung up on him, my bad. Oh, oops. Nah, bro, you know you crazy. It ain't nothing changed. We went to war for 20 years. We killed over 1 million civilians in that war over 20 years. Tons of service members died. They still didn't hate Bush and Obama and the way Joe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan. They didn't hate them the same way they hate Trump. Trump had nothing to do with none of these wars. Trump was really not involved in any of these wars. And he said war in Iran for 8 weeks. And people peeing the bed at night. 8 weeks, bruh. We were in Afghanistan, Iraq 20 years. Damn, get a man a couple more months to figure it out. Y'all acting like this is the existential threat to the United States of American history. Like Iran is going to bankroll the country. But we in foreign countries since the inception of time. We went and dropped nukes and killed millions of people at a time. And Donald Trump is in Iran for 8 weeks, and people are losing their socks. And they think he should get killed over it. Shut the front door. Stephen A. Smith went on Cam Newton's show, and I thought he said some pretty powerful things. Y'all got to listen to it. Come on, roll the clip.
But when I feel betrayed, bro,
who did?
Say what?
Who did it?
No, I'm just saying.
But
I'm saying, like, bro, it could be women, it could be some of my boys. I've had people literally say, black people don't with you. You've betrayed your race. We don't want to with you. Cam, those people can never come back in my life. I'm gonna look in that camera. They can go to hell. They can never come back. Because to know me, you know that cut deep. I almost lost my career because I look out. I cannot count the amount of times I've put my ass on the line for us. I've been me. Y'all changed. I've been me. And I'm gonna stay me. It ain't changing, bro. When I see people, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about betrayal. You in my life, I got love for you, we tight, and you gonna say shit like I betrayed the black community? They talking about me with this politics. I can show you a speech that I gave in 2007, right before Obama took office. In 2010, at Vanderbilt University, I said, listen to this quote, politics. I wish for one election that every black person would vote Republican. What? How can you say that? I said, it's simple. Since 1964, the black folks, we have been giving our vote to the Democratic Party at an exorbitant rate. Therefore, they know they got our vote, and they don't have to cater to us as much as we need them to. The Republicans know they'll never get our vote, so they don't give a damn about us. And as a result, we're the only community in America devoid of representation, which is why we're considered disenfranchised. I'm tired of that. What I want is to put ourselves as a community in a position where both parties have to work to get our vote.
Can I ask you this? Do you think you covering politics like you cover politics, in the words of your mans, is that good for business, your business?
It has the potential not to be. We'll have to see. So far it is. I think I'm doing pretty good. So far it is. But it has the potential not to be. But here's the point. Cam, if I thought like that, I'd never be here. There's plenty of decisions over the years I could have made that would have been good for business. But I had the courage to tackle the issues that I felt passionate enough to attack. That's what makes me me. I've always been fascinated by politics. the Super Bowl, to me, outside of the Super Bowl, there is nothing that I love more than presidential debates. I'm talking about me getting, in my case, cheese doodles, not popcorn. Okay? I'm talking, in my case, I'm talking about the cheese doodles, the little snacks, and I'm watching the debate. That's how I always knew I would be a good debater. Because I used to do this, I used to watch this stuff religiously growing up. Even when we talk about politics now, bro, I'm not giving up my money. You got to give up your money according to FCC equal time rules in order for you to run for the presidency of the United States. You got to give up your money. I work too hard for my paper. I ain't giving that up.
So are you running for...
I'm not. I am not running. I am not running because I ain't giving up my paper. They said I had to give up my paper. It ain't happening.
We got one more clip, but I just had to comment on that. And me and Steven talked about this, so since he put it out there, I figured, because I would never... I mean, God have to come and sit in my living room and get me and my wife and convince me. We go back and forth a couple times, you know, before I ever run for office. It's a dirty, nasty game that yield minimal results. And that's why a lot of high-powered people, like when you look at New York and you go, why? They didn't have no candidates, because good people don't want to get involved in that. I'm telling you, I told my wife this last night. I ain't never been in a shady situation a day in my life with a woman. Never, never. It ain't never been a question. I don't even think I ever been with a woman when I was drinking, except my girlfriend. That was my girlfriend at the time. And that's before I got saved. Don't worry about it. But I ain't never been in a weird situation. I ain't never had nobody accuse me of nothing. I swear, but I put my life on it. Let me run for office and be winning. Somebody gonna pay somebody to come out the woodworks. Cause I've been pretty popular for a long time. I've been popular for like 6 years now. Millions of views. People recognize me everywhere I go. Nobody ever said nothing crazy about me because I ain't done nothing crazy. Wait till you run for office. Some girl, and I'm gonna blast you. Don't play with me. Don't let them people get you exposed. I'm gonna tell everybody your business. But some girl gonna take his money and go say, Brandon did this to me. And that's what they do. And they put it out there and they lie about you. And then by the time you correct it, or if you don't want to speak on it, the lie already then went around the world 3 times, and now you framed it something. Only because you wanted to do what's right for the country. Ain't nobody finna give up hundreds of millions of dollars to do that, unless you Donald Trump and you crazy. Donald Trump gave up billions of dollars. That dude would have been way richer than Elon Musk if he hadn't been the president, to be quite honest. I ain't giving up my money unless God told me to. Y'all can't tell me to. God got to do it. All right, here's the part what Stephen A. Smith has said about dating. I always wondered. I had to talk to him personally and ask him, because I think he's not married. I think he got a kid, but I don't blame him. I love my wife. I have a great relationship, but not everybody's relationship good. As you know, roll the clip.
What do you look for in a woman?
Intelligence, conversation. Well, let me scratch that. That's 2 or 3 on the list. Sex appeal starts. It starts there. If I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Yeah, it's just that. It's just the truth. We're not gonna sit here and lie. If I'm not attracted to you, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay? I like what I like, and you need to possess those qualities. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. It's just that simple. Sex appeal. Figure it out. So that conversation, intellect, and domesticated. Because you see. I say that. I'm seriously. Somebody needs to say that. We need to stop this shit. This assault against masculinity, it's gonna end with this. I don't care. I can cook for myself. I don't want to. I want you to cook. I'll pay for the food. I'll take you out. I'll take you out every week. Yeah. We're doing it. But damn it, listen. My sister Carmen, one of the greatest cooks ever. Rashawn can throw down, by the way. He can cook too, right? I'm not him. See, he don't mind. He'll tell the wife, I got you, baby. I got this. Let me cook the chicken. Hell no, that ain't Steven. No. Only thing I'm doing for myself is getting up for some cereal. That's it. I'm not cooking. I don't feel like it. If I have to do that, why do I need you?
But
that's me. I'm just being that. I understand it comes across as chauvinistic, but I just finished saying, I'll take you out. I'll buy the food. I'll take care of whatever you need me to take care of. But damn it, I walk through my crib and you there, I better not smell behind Saul. There's a problem. If I'm smelling pine sol, why are you there? Why? My sister has her own family. If my sister knows I'm coming, the minute I walk through the door, I'm smelling food. She knows that. She's my sister. You the woman in my life and I'm smelling pine sol, that ain't gonna last. I assure you that. Go get the brother that don't mind. I hope he can offer you what I'm offering, because it ain't gonna last. I'm just telling you my flavor. Yeah. That's me. Ain't gonna change.
It's pretty interesting. Let me just touch on that real quick. As a man, you gotta think, a lot of men think alike, but there's levels to this, right? When you got $100 million contract, I think you can afford to say that. Some people can't afford to say that, because if you're a regular person, you working a regular job, you got kids, man, you can't do that to your wife, right? Y'all both working. You can't be like, you got to cook every night and you going to work just like I'm going to work. Y'all gonna have to split responsibilities. But if you making money like Stephen A. Smith, the woman you with ain't working, or she don't have to work. At his age, she's probably not working. And you're going to cook. I mean, what else you doing around the house? Like my wife, she got a full-time job with that 5-year-old we got. That boy is a full-time job. I love him to death, but man, yesterday we were together as a family the whole day, and he, mama, and I was going crazy. I said, boy, if you just be quiet for an hour, can you play the quiet game? So I don't want to hear you talking. Don't make a noise. Go in your room and just be quiet for an hour. You've been running all day. So I feel bad for her. So she got a full-time job at the house. But at the same time, it's like, I'm working all day too. I'm up here all day. And then when I get home, I'm working. So I expect my wife to kind of, cook and clean up and whatever. And we got somebody to help and stuff. So I expect that to be done. And you know how much more productive I am when I go home and everything is clean. All my clothes are folded. All my cleaner clothes are there. Boom. Underwear, everything folded. Nothing dirty. Nothing on the floor, nothing dirty. Everything clean. Dishes clean. I ain't thought about a dish in 5 years now. But that clears my mind to be focused, and that's why we do so well. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, let's get to the next topic. Let's get to this airplane crash, which is crazy. I wish the airplane hit my car and not kill me. I wouldn't even be doing podcasts no more. I'm finna get paid $20 million plus pain and suffering. That's another $10 million. I'm kind of joking. I'm kind of joking. If I sue for $20 million, he finna get a lot of money for this. All right, let me tell you about Shenergy before we get there. If you're looking for an energy drink and a good night drink, people love it. Go look at the reviews. I like to tell you, go look. I don't know how to convince people. I'm not an advertising person, right? Go look at the reviews and you tell me if this is for you. Natural, no crash when you drink it. We formulate it from scratch. I have a formulator here that I formulated with him. We went through the whole process, tasting, trying, sampling, all of that. Best product on the market for what it is. All right, ShenergyLife.com if you want it. All right, let's get to this airplane multi-million-dollar settlement. Roll the clip.
It was just after 2 o'clock. The driver of this bakery truck singing while driving down the New Jersey Turnpike when something catches his eye at the passenger window. A United flight about to land at nearby Newark Airport was coming in low and hit a light pole. The pole then crashing into his truck. He was injured from the shattered glass, but is okay. The plane was also damaged before taxiing to the gate.
Yeah, they felt something over the threshold, and there's a hole in the side of the airplane.
This aircraft was literally inches from disaster. The NTSB will look at various things, but one of the things they'll look at is the crew performance. But really what they're going to look at is why that aircraft was not stabilized on its approach and why somebody in that cockpit did not say, go around, this is dangerous.
Holy oh my goodness.
Video from the ground shows the plane moments later. People in their cars shocked at what they saw.
Did you see all that wind?
Oh my goodness.
United says its maintenance team is now evaluating the plane, saying we will conduct a rigorous flight safety investigation into the incident, and our crew has been removed from service as part of the process.
Yeah, I think you got to go, man. You can't be playing around with this. Now, I don't know. I'm not a pilot. I don't know if it's something malfunction because there could have been a catastrophic malfunction. They couldn't control it, right? Thank God they didn't hit the freeway. But my brother right here, put his face on the screen. He finna be the next multimillionaire. Brother, I'm proud of you. If you wasn't driving at that speed limit you were driving, jamming to your music, you'd probably be dead right now or be broke. One of the two. He was in the threshold of dead or broke. That means that if he'd have went too fast, plane wouldn't have hit him, and I ain't gonna say he'd be broke, but he ain't gonna be rich. Or he'd have went too slow and he'd be dead. But my brother, you know how to do it. What song were you listening to? I need to listen to that song every day I drive by an airport, hoping somebody hit me and don't kill me. How much y'all think he gonna make? I think 40 mil. 20 mil. I mean, you got to think, if I were him, I could never drive a car again. I got PTSD. I can't drive. I can't even think straight. I can't walk on my own. I need a whole team. I can't even wash dishes. It make me think about airplanes. I'll be rich as a mud. Anyway, here's the footage from outside the truck so you guys can see it. Roll it. No, we got the footage from outside the truck, right? All right, let's get to the next story. I'm going to skip her. She's an idiot. I don't know if y'all want me to talk about that. Is that the last story? All right, let's go dummy of the day. Huh? You can't be this dumb. All right, dummy of the day. Let's get this girl on the screen. Y'all think I'm just picking on black people. It's just that every video y'all send me is black people cutting up. So I don't know if this is fake. It looked kind of sketchy because of the camera. You know, they don't address the camera. It's going back and forth. But it do seem like stuff that you hear these young people saying that don't make no sense. It's the generational difference. The lady in the blue used to get spankings and get towed up from the floor. She acted a fool. She had decorum. She fought for everything she got. The lady in the orange, look at her, entitled, ain't got no concept of personal responsibility. Roll the clip.
You can't come out of the restaurant as dressed.
Wait, but
why? No, that's not the standard.
Why? I'm confused. Why?
There's nothing to be confused about. It's plain, simple English. Untuck your shirt and cover your stomach.
I told you that the shirt was too big.
It doesn't matter.
I said I need an XXS.
And still doesn't matter. That's not warrant you to come out half dressed. You have to dress accordingly to what the standard is of Whataburger.
How is my stomach harming anybody? How is my stomach harming anybody?
It's harming the business. You cannot come out like that. That's not standard. We're not going to stand here and talk about this for 20 minutes. You're not standardly dressed. You can either dress properly at home if you like, or you can tuck the shirt and get to work here at Whataburger.
Don't you guys ever think if you had cuter girls like on the clock, more customers would come?
So that it was kind of weird, but that's, young people, y'all got to stop doing this. Quit being silly. Get your stuff together. My pastor told me when I was doing the decennial census in 2010, going door to door in the hot summer in Arizona, burning my butt off, tuck your shirt in, young man. Dress like you got some sense. Dress nice. People treat you different. Every day, I knock on people's door at the trailer park and everything. I had a collar shirt on, shirt tucked in, nice pants, and I hate tucking my shirt in. What happened? I used to get all kind of calls from my boss. Oh, this guy's so professional. He's doing so well. Who is this guy? They promoted me to be a supervisor of the decennial census. So I'm the supervisor over people that's twice my age. And I had to do verbatim training, meaning I had to read verbatim for 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 4 days in a row. They hired me, they promoted me, I ended up being the supervisor. Why? Because I dressed like I was supposed to, and I carried myself responsibly. I took pride in what I did. Not running around acting like somebody owed me something. But anyway, we'll get to that girl since we got 14 minutes left. Let's get to this fool. I don't know if y'all remember this. We're going to give you a replay, but this young lady decided that she was going to go and make a whole stink about a dude who she did an Uber drop-off, and the guy was laying naked on his couch, and she claimed that he sexually assaulted her, which, to be honest, obviously she got indicted, which was a lie. She's trying to go viral. And what did she do? End up breaking the law by exposing this guy naked online, and he probably had nothing to do with nothing. He probably fell asleep in his house naked, and she gonna barge in the door, taking a picture and put him on the internet. That's a crime, young lady. All right, roll the film. I don't hear anything, I guess. All right, so that's her. And then this is her complaining when she got let go.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working. I was literally working and they deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while DoorDashing. They just fired me, and the police are doing nothing. I lost my job, and that was my only way to make money to pay my bills.
And you decided to squander the opportunity by trying to go viral by putting a naked man on camera. Now, here's her charges. 1 count of disseminating surveillance images, which is putting somebody naked on the television through your electronic phone device. And the other one was unlawful surveillance. So you're not able to record somebody, and then you're not able to disseminate it all over the internet. And they should have got her for making a false claim, because that's clearly not sexual assault, because somebody fell asleep naked on their couch. You don't have to go into the house. But she did it because she wanted to go viral. And it's the thing that I don't know why young people do this. And every time I look at her, I'm looking at her being like, who raised you to be this narcissistic? Who raised you to be this stupid? You knew you were lying the whole time and you gaslighting the world, knowing you didn't barge in on this guy trying to be viral. Here's her getting arraigned or going to the hearing after being indicted by a grand jury. Roll the clip. Still think it's stuff on. Now, I know everybody make mistakes. We all do. But it really bothers me when people are evil and so selfish they can't see past themselves and see how their decisions hurt other people. It just really bothers me when it comes to that. Like, I never want to raise kids that act like that. That's the most embarrassing, disappointing thing a parent can ever do, is to wake up one day and look at your kid being that stupid, taking no accountability for their actions, trying to go viral online, gaslighting and lying. All of those things are terrible traits. All righty. So let's, we're going to go to Post Your Clarity. You guys will see it. It's going to be a short one today. But if you're a member, officer and above, you get access to Post Your Clarity. That's a show that we do after the show, kind of like the after party. But if you're a rookie, you have access to it on Fridays. So be on the lookout for Friday. You have access to it, or you can upgrade the officer and you have access to it all the time. But also make sure you guys go to Tatum's store. We got a whole bunch of merch that we just dropped. TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. We got brand new hats. I think I got one. It kind of looked like this. We kind of redesigned it, but it says blessed on the front. It's got the American flag. I mean, it's got the Officer Tatum on the side. And then also we have some more merch of the 250th year celebration of the United States of America, the greatest country on planet Earth and to ever exist. So go in there and check it out. Give it a shot. Even if you don't buy nothing, just go look around, peruse, and if you want to buy something later, add it to your cart and close out when you get your paycheck. All right, God bless you. God bless America. Y'all hold the phone. I'll see you in Post Your Clarity.